Here now, one of my favorite people, Ric Grenell, former United States UN spokesman and former U.S. ambassador to Germany. Ric, good to see you. Thank you so much. The UN is like the teacher that treats the A students like garbage and then coddles the bullies and the disruptive students and treats them like golden children. That's the UN in a nutshell.
I love your analogies, Dagan. It's amazing.
I worked on that really hard, by the way.
You should be a U.S. senator with some of those analogies. Look, here is what I want to say is I served at the UN for 8 years. I'm the longest serving American political appointee in the history of the UN. And I know the place really well. This is what I would say to my liberal friends who are totally mistaken about this idea that somehow we're going to submit to UN rules because we want to be an example that everybody should submit to UN rules. I get the theory that we would want to be the example that says, look, come in and look at our practices and issue a report. Here is the problem with that. Inherent in that argument is the erroneous assumption that the UN is fair and the system is somehow a system that is fair. Let me be very clear. 69 countries at the UN criminalize homosexuality. This is a place where Iran gets to be the leader of the women's movement. This is a joke over and over and over. If we were all fair and we were all equal, then why does the United States pay billions of dollars and others don't have to pay much? I could go on and on with the duplicity that we see throughout at the UN, but we just need to tell our liberal friends, don't assume that the UN is perfect and that their perfect rules should be then applied to the United States. Instead, don't play their game. Don't submit to Iran and North Korea and Venezuela and then let them beat us up on the world stage because it doesn't help freedom and democracy.
Right, and in terms of Joe Biden, he exhibits almost this self-hatred or hatred of America in a way. And I see it as one of the worst things that has been happening during his presidency so far, Ric, that it just shows a lack of awareness of quite frankly, American greatness and diversity and advancement here.
They think we're one of many. They think we're one of just everybody else, that we're not great. Look, this is what Secretary Blinken is doing is really an attack on America first. It's meaning, the UN is first and everybody is equal. But again, people are equal, but countries are not equal. And this is the problem with this assumption. I would go back and blame Secretary Blinken for this, because there's one thing that people need to understand is that Secretary Blinken's parents funded the Blinken Center at the Soros Open Society Foundation. George Soros' foundation has the Blinken Center, and that Blinken Center is all about data and information. And they dig deep on that. I could go in, and it's a story that we should do at some other point. But what Secretary Blinken has been doing in the Balkans, for instance, by taking conservatives and barring them from coming to the United States and calling it corruption. He's done it in Albania. He's done it in Bulgaria. This is exactly what George Soros wants, is to somehow tear down the United States and make everybody, every country equal. Again, people are equal, countries are not equal.
And speaking of countries, we have Angela Merkel from Germany making her last visit to the White House. Ric, and we're getting some headlines from the press conference with Biden and Merkel. Biden says he expressed his concerns about Nord Stream 2. Well, why did you green light at them? Why did you give Russia and Germany the double thumbs up, even when the whole of Europe opposed it? He said that Merkel and the U.S. are united in belief that Russia should not use energy as a weapon against its neighbors. Too late. Ric, what do you have to say?
Look, I like Chancellor Merkel. I got to know her, and I like her. But we need to stop this love fest that she was the greatest leader for 16 years. She really moved Germany into a Germany first model. They have a surplus. They decided that they wanted to have a foreign policy like Switzerland. They want to be everybody's friend. They're going to continue making money. Here is the summary. She moved the Germans away from the West. The transatlantic alliance is no longer Western facing, not because of Donald Trump, not because of anything that the U.S. did, although I would blame Obama, Bush, and Clinton for allowing this to happen. But the Germans have moved away. They've got the largest economy in Europe. They've moved away from a Western-facing alliance, and frankly speaking, she's responsible for shrinking the EU. That's why we have Brexit. Her immigration policies chased the Brits away.
It did, and they're facing facing China, and that opens a whole other host of problems. Rick, good to see you. Hope to see you soon.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me, Dagan.
Good to see you.